Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colin Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things we picked up when we picked up the Thrive 15 team was an entire team. You want an SEO guy that knows things about search engine optimization? Got it. You got a website guy that's built big websites like Garth Brooks' website? Awesome, we have it. He's coming in. If I had to pay for that on my own, outside of Thrive 15, there's just no way. For us, one of our most immediate needs when I got connected with Clay was technology. We had a website, but I had a website in Tulsa. Our other partner had a website in Colorado. They did everything from doing a drone video where they flew over all of our markets with a drone. They integrated that into our site. They built every single thing that I think of, they do. We do a podcast. If I was gonna produce my own podcast, there's no, I mean, that alone, just that alone would be what I pay Thrive, just for that. But then if you add the fact that I've got, if I need a business card design, if I need a website build, if I need this, if I need that, I know what I would pay for that. If I had to go a la carte, I feel guilty sometimes, like I don't probably write a big enough check for the value that I get. I think there's a lot of entrepreneurs that have ideas what they want to do with their business and how they want to grow and what market they want to be in and how they can increase production and do all this. But it's not about having 4,000 ideas. It's about having 12 and executing them 4,000 times. That's the trick, in my opinion, and that's where Thrive's value comes in. I feel like I have my own staff, my own, like, I don't know, 20-person team that when I need something, I just go to them and it happens.
Yes, 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 and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's edition of the Thrive Time Show, I'm going to talk about how to onboard a new employee. Now, if you are new to the program or you want to get with the program and you want to follow along, you can go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, and you can download my newest book, A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich, to follow along. And we're on page number 134, and we're talking today about the shadowing process and how to onboard a new candidate. So now I'm going to explain to you how the shadowing process works. After you conduct enough group or individual interviews to lose a little faith in humanity, you may also have found a few people whom you believe might be a perfect fit. However, the next step is to schedule them to shadow you or one of your top performers at the workplace. The job candidate should be instructed to dress an appropriate work attire and act as if they already have the job. Explain to the candidate that this process is designed so that both of you can see whether this opportunity is a good fit. During the shadowing process, you're going to discover a few crazy things. One is 75% of employees steal from the workplace, according to the U.S. Chamber. That is a fact. Look it up, folks. 85% of employees admit to lying on their resumes, according to Inc. magazine. So you're going to find that a lot of the employees who said during the interview that they could do Photoshop or that they could print a sign or they could run a certain machine or that they could build a certain thing or do a certain thing, a lot of times they demonstrate that they have no idea how to actually do that which they said they could do. And that always blows my mind. You'll have someone who applies for a job to work for an architect, and he'll claim that he has the skill sets needed to be a draftsman, but when he shows up, he can't do it. You'll find that she will say that she is skilled and trained to be a dental hygienist, but you'll find out that she actually didn't actually graduate or complete her certification to become a dental hygienist. And you're going to just find that people will lie at scale on their resumes to get a job. And so I'd encourage you to through the shadowing process. Again, we're working off the assumption you already did a big interview. You did the job interview. Now they're shadowing you. So step one is we're doing the job interview. Step two is they're shadowing you in the workplace. That's why I recommend interviewing as many candidates as you can within an hour. So I would just tell people that when you post online, you say, we're now hiring, Call all of the candidates that you think that might be a good fit and say, I'd love to interview you this Wednesday at 5:30 or whatever day you choose. And then at that group interview, that once-a-week interview as many candidates as you possibly can within that 1 hour. Because of the, let's just say a typical week. So on this Wednesday, I'm going to have 25 to 30 candidates that are going to say they are going to show up for the job interview. Of those 25 to 30 that are supposed to be here at 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday, about half actually show up. So now we're down to 12. And of those 12, usually 4 show up on time or have a sound mind. And those are the people that you want to shadow you. So step 2 is they shadow you. Once they shadow you, then we start to talk about actually hiring this person. Now let's talk about background checks and references. Once you've found a candidate you really like, it is now time to conduct a professional background check and call their references. I can't explain to you how important this is. I recommend using goodhire.com because they have low-cost options and they have an easy access online portal, and you can purchase one background check at a time. And let's visit goodhire.com to check the backgrounds of potential candidates. Again, but don't check the backgrounds of a candidate just because they applied. We want to do the interview, step 1. Step 2, we want to have them come shadow. And then if you think they're a good fit, that's when you're going to pull the background check. We move on to page 130. Move on to page 130. You must be organized to build an organization. What? Yeah. So if you're out there today and you have a small business and you want to grow that business, I highly recommend that you have the following tools that you always keep near you at all times. One is a to-do list. It is absolutely important that you have a to-do list, that you keep that on you at all times, because if you don't have a to-do list, eventually the amount of things on your list that you're supposed to do will exceed your mental capacity to remember what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to pull up my to-do list right now just so that I can give you an example of the level of complexity or lack thereof that you find on my to-do list on any given day. So right now it's 8:24 in the morning, and I'm recording this podcast. And as I'm recording this podcast, I have a lot of things I have to do after today's interview. I have time blocked out for the interview, but after the interview, I have stuff I need to do. So one is I need to add Mike Lindell as a featured guest on Moms on a Mission. That's the website. 2, I need to grab an updated credit card from a client named Marty. I need to grab an updated credit card. 3, I need to update the passwords for a client called The Garage I work with. 4, I need to call a person and let them know that they do not need to participate in today's interview because the guest that we had scheduled is not going to be here. So I need to call a person that was going to be on today's show and say, we're going to need to reschedule because the other guest can't be here today. Then I need to talk to Katie about uploading all of the interviews from our last conference we did in Las Vegas. Next, I need to call a guy by the name of Joseph about performing playing music, his band, to perform at our upcoming December conference. Next, I need to upload a video. Next, I need to give $1 haircut gift cards. One of our companies called Elephant in the Room. It's a men's grooming haircut lounge, and we're going to pass out $1 haircut cards to people in the mall. So we're going to get that done. 7, I need to call Terry to get Joseph Z booked on the show. 8, I need to reach out to Jonathan Kahn about having him speak at our church and on the Reawaken tour. 9, I need to record a special thank you video for the good folks at Elijah Streams. 10, I need to make sure that the video newsletter for a company called Beloved Cheesecakes gets edited today. 11, I need to talk to Dee about an updated sign I'm creating. I'm creating wood signs for my office. 12, I need to add Joel Gilbert to a conference flyer. 13, I need to post something on Facebook for our business. And you get the idea. I have so many items I need to do on my to-do list, and I'm going to forget the items that I need to do if I don't have a to-do list. So you got to have a to-do list. Second thing you have to do, this is a very important thing you got to do, you have to have a calendar. And the calendar allows you to decide what you need to be doing with your time. So as of right now, let me just give you an example. As of right now, let me pull this up. It is a Tuesday, and I have an interview that's supposed to happen at 9, but the person I'm interviewing at 9 cannot be at the interview today because they had something that came up. And so, as I was telling you earlier, I had to call that guest and let them know, hey, we're not doing the interview at 9 today because the other guest can't be there. So at 9, that's when I'm going to work on other to-do list items. Now, I have to shave every day. Now, the question is, should I shave while on the show? And maybe some of you are going, I love it when you shave on the show. Maybe some of you say, you know what? This is my favorite show you've ever done. The shows where you're shaving, those are the best shows. Those are the shows you need to do. Do more shows where you're actually shaving. And maybe some of you say, that's crazy. But all I'm saying is I block out time to do things that matter. You got to block out time. What gets scheduled gets done. So you have a to-do list and you have a calendar. You have a to-do list and you have a calendar. Those are big things. And in that calendar, you want to block out time for that which matters, which would imply that you're blocking. So you're like in football, you would block somebody who's trying to tackle your quarterback. If you were a offensive lineman or you're a running back and you're blocking for the quarterback, you're blocking, you're keeping people away from the quarterback. You don't want the quarterback to get hit. I don't want people to come to conflict with my schedule. So I have things on my to-do list today that I'm going to get done. Just to walk you through my schedule. At 9:30, I'm doing a 13-point assessment. A wonderful listener by the name of Tammy, I believe it is. She went to thrivetimeshow.com and she clicked on the testimonials. She probably watched thousands of testimonials and decided that she wanted to become a success story. So she reached out to schedule a 13-point assessment. And I typically have every day 2 to 3 of those that I'm doing. And we only take on 160 clients. And so I'm always trying to find the right fit. And because our average client is with us for 6 years or longer, it creates one opening about every month and a half. That's how that works. So I have an assessment at 9:30. Then at 10, I have a wonderful meeting with a guy by the name of Tony. Now at 10:30, I have an interview with a guy by the name of David. At 11 o'clock, I have another interview with another man by the name of David. Now at 12 o'clock, I have yet another 13-point assessment I'll be doing with a guy by the name of Danny. Then at 1 o'clock, I have an interview with Todd Coconato. At 2 o'clock, I have an interview with General Flynn. At 3 o'clock, I have an interview with Amanda Grace. At 4 o'clock, I have a 13-point assessment availability. 4:30, I'm interviewing Sean Stone. And at 5:30, I'm going to be interviewed on this show called The Matthew Dark Show. That's my day today. My day is scheduled. So I have made a to-do list. And B, I have blocked out time in my to-do list to get the things done that need to be done. And that's how it works. That's the process. That's how we do it. And that's how the whole thing works. You have a to-do list. You got to have a calendar. If you don't have a calendar, you don't have a to-do list, nothing's going to work. Next tool I'd recommend you have. I recommend you have a whiteboard. Now, I have a whiteboard in my office. And on the whiteboard, I put down things that need to be followed up with. And so, as an example, every day, one of my companies, we have a call center, and the call center is a center where calls should be made. That's the theory. And when people on the team make a certain number of calls per day, they're held accountable to making a certain number of calls per day. And so at the end of every shift, the callers have to write how many calls they made for the day on the whiteboard, and they also have to write down how many deals they booked per day in the call center. It's a haircut call center. And so that whiteboard allows me to see a transparent look at what is going on. It's also a place where I sketch out updates to our linear workflow for our different businesses. And to learn more about workflows, we have entire trainings on workflows, which you can listen to. Just type in Thrive Time Show workflow, and you can find them. But a workflow is basically a document that shows how the business works from left to right, how you market to your ideal and likely buyers, how those leads then become. How an ideal and likely buyer then becomes a lead, and how it goes from a lead into a funnel where the person gets called and texted and booked, and there's a process. So you want to have a whiteboard. So you want to have a to-do list. You want to have a whiteboard. You want to have a calendar. Big stuff, okay? It's really important that you have those things near you at all times. So that's what you got to do. Now, we're going back here to this idea of having somebody shadowing you, all right? You're having someone shadow you. So once somebody shadows you, you have to figure out if this person is a good fit or not as quick as possible, because you don't want to have somebody shadow you all day and to waste their time and or your time. You just want to have people shadow you for the least amount of time possible. And during the shadow, you're just trying to see, can this person actually do the job, and are they a good fit for our culture? Now, in part 2 of today's show, I'm going to introduce you to a success story of a client we've helped to grow dramatically, and I encourage you to watch their success story and know that you, too, can become that next success story. And if you want to become that next success story, we have 3 ways we can help you that I know about. One is if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you can book your tickets to to attend our in-person business workshops. They're 2-day interactive business workshops where we teach you marketing, sales, branding, accounting, how to raise capital, how to track your ads, how to hire, how to fire, how to train, how to retain. All of those skill sets are taught at one 2-day interactive business workshop, and you can get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. And the tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. That's how that works. You can actually name your price. Second is we have the one-on-one business coaching, and that is something where if you want a mentor to guide you down the proven path and to make sure that you actually have success, we take on only 160 clients, and our client success stories are incredible. Our average client will typically double their business very quickly. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you can see those success stories. Are just as examples, shawhomes.com, we've helped them to grow the company from $16 million of sales to well over $100 million of sales. Steve Currington, the mortgage lender, we've helped him grow his business dramatically. We've got an accountant in Canada by the name of Josh Spurrell. We've helped him to grow dramatically. Papa Gallo's Pizzeria in Florida, we've helped them to grow dramatically. I mean, I can go on and on, but they're all right there at thrivetimeshow.com. We've helped OxyFresh to grow from just a few locations now to 517 locations. That's OxyFresh, OXIFresh.com. And those are just the ones that are top of mind. So if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you can see those success stories, and you can schedule a free consultation with me so you can decide whether it's a good fit or not. And then finally, we have this podcast. And a lot of people love this podcast because in these podcasts, we answer questions from great people like you. So today we had a lot of questions coming in. People wanted to know how to onboard new employees and when to pull background checks. But if you ever have a question, chances are we're going to answer it here on the Thrive Time Show Business Podcast, where we put out shows each and every day. You can also follow us on rumble.com, where you'll find all the uncensored podcasts. So my name is Clay Clark, and now on part 2 of today's show, we're going to introduce you to a longtime client to success story, a client that's having massive success. His name is Josh Spurrell, and he's based in Canada. So if the Canadians can have success, you too can have success.
Hi, my name is Josh Spurrell from Spurrell & Associates, Chartered Professional Accountants based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I met Clay at his conference in Tulsa in June of 2018. Started working with the coaching program shortly after there. You know, the experience has been great. You know, you really have a partner in the grind. You know, most people, I like to say most people are wrong about most things about business most of the time. And it's very difficult for entrepreneurs to connect with other entrepreneurs who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to business. But Clay and his team really does understand. You know, the tangible improvements that we've seen is we're up over 50% since starting with the coaching program. And, they're helping to help business owners create time freedom and financial freedom. And I know what you're going to think. You're going to say, what the heck are you going to do with your time freedom and financial freedom when you're in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada? That's the most northerly city in North America with 1 million people. You know, we're probably just sitting in our igloos hoping for some television. But I'll give you an idea of what we're doing in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So over here we have Sandra and we have Emma. Emma, say hello.
Hi, everybody. This is my daddy's channel.
Emma really likes any video. So let's see what actually the time freedom and financial freedom can do for you in Edmonton. So believe it or not, we have a beach here, guys. And I'll take you on the little tour of Edmonton's beach. Now it's not what you Americans are going to think of as a beach. This is a northern beach. Got a really cool slide here. I don't know if you can see this purple slide. This purple slide that you're looking at here is a full loop-to-loop. It knocks you completely upside down when you go into it. See if I can get the right angle here. You know, that does not appear physically possible, but it really is going to knock you upside down. Went on it last time, and here is the Edmonton beach. This is a northern beach. You guys out in Tulsa, you Americans think you have all the beaches here, but here is the northern beach, complete with waves. We got 30-degree weather inside here. Oh, sorry, 30. That's 90 for you guys over there. I gotta do the translation, the map in my head. and we even got a zip line that we can ride down here. And this is what we're doing with our time freedom and financial freedom in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Thanks to the Thrive Time team. Thanks very much, guys.
Steve?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you applying for the job.
Always.
When's the earliest you could start, Tyler?
Kyler.
Mrs. Anderson?
You can call me Marlene.
Okay, Marlene, we appreciate you applying for the job.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Let's just dive right in.
Boom, go.
What's your availability like?
I'm boycotting daylight savings time, so I'll either be an hour early or an hour late, depending on the seasons.
Tell me a little about yourself.
My mom says I have to get a job, so that's why I'm here, because she wants me to get a job.
Why did you leave your last job?
Of course, Harry, he was, I just felt like he was looking at me in a particular way. Of course, he was blind, so I don't know why I felt that.
Why did you leave your last job, Steve?
Fired. Next question.
So what do you think you bring to the table?
I can read people's energies. Let me read your energy real quick. You're a coyote. Congratulations. I don't run errands, and I don't answer the phone. You know what I do? I look hot. 24 hot. Whatever you need, I can do it. Janitor, CEO, cook, I can do it all. And I have done it all. And I will do it all.
Okay, so you do have experience in all of those areas.
No, but I just believe I can do it. So availability, you know, that's kind of a week-to-week thing for me. You know, I really just kind of like, we'll see. So
what do you consider your weaknesses?
chocolate, candy, Snickers,
Okay.
Reese's Pieces.
Okay. Becky, I think we're done here.
Do I get the job?
Well, Thrive Nation, one thing that Clay Stairs and I get to do is to help wonderful people work on their business and to transform their business from maybe a job that seems overwhelming at times as a self-employed person into a business that they love. And we're passionate about helping you to grow your company because we're passionate about the clients that we serve. And this next guest, this next person I'm going to introduce you to, this next testimonial is a guy that I actually hired him to build my home.
Yes.
And I was very, very happy with the home building process. My wife was super happy with the complete project because she worked with him to design it. So I want to make sure my wife is happy with the house that she co-designed. And I kept hearing great things about today's guest, Brian Wiggs, from other people that have used Brian Wiggs. And then when we started on the initial path, Clay Stairs, one of the things we do with our clients is to help them improve their branding, which involves them calling up their current and former customers and to gather video reviews.
Yes.
And every person that we contacted, they wanted to do a testimonial for Brian Wiggs because they liked in the product that he built for them. And so without any further ado, Brian Wiggs, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, I am doing great. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad to talk to you guys.
Well, Brian, I'm going to hit you up with 5 quick questions, and I'm going to go to Clay Stairs to interrogate you here.
Here we go.
How did you first hear about our team, Clay Stairs? How did that happen?
Originally, Clay and I met at a Chamber of Commerce meeting here in Jinx, Oklahoma, in my hometown here. And he had some good things to say, so I went up and talked to him afterwards, and he started telling me about the way you guys work, and it sounded very intriguing. So that first connected us a couple of years ago.
And you guys meet every week. Every week you meet and you leave the meeting with homework. And just like with all of our clients, you leave with homework and we leave with homework. What kind of improvements have you seen Clay Stairs and the team make to your business over these last couple of years?
I think the main thing that it's changed in me, and it's what Clay told me one of the very first times we met. He said the biggest hurdle was going to be me, that I was going to have to do some mindset changes. And that seemed okay. I thought I could be ready for that. But when you really get into it, you realize I have a lot of mindset changes to make. And you have to make them one at a time. You have to dig them out. And so Clay has helped me with that week by week, reminding me of the things I need to be doing and helping me understand better how to grow my business.
Now, question number 3 of 5 here. I'm going to pull up your website, and a lot of people tell me that they have someone who helps them with their mindset, and they have someone else who helps them with their website, and someone else that helps them with their online reputation, and someone else who helps them with their online ads. How has working with Clay Stairs and the team helped you, having one person or one team that does all of that?
Well, it's great to have it because we don't have to mess with the technical piece of it as much. We're really good at building houses. We're not great at building websites or trying to do all the other things that are backroom pieces that you need to have. And they're just great to be able to hand this to them and go, this is the way I want my story to be told, and they tell it.
Now, question number 4, for anybody out there that would be considering working with Clay Stairs and the
Now,
team.
are you numbering for those at home?
Well, I'm doing this.
Track?
Well, what is because
I like that. I like for those doing the home version.
I want people to know. I mean, there are certain things I get asked all the time by potential clients, and I want to hit on those.
I love it.
So, number 4, what would you say to anybody who's thinking about, working with Clay Stairs and the team? What would you say? What would be your thoughts?
I think that he is a genuine. He's available. He's wise. And he's infuriating, which is the way I've been describing.
And then finally, my question number 5 is the weekly meetings. What I find is that consistent people who grow businesses, they embrace this idea. Some call it Kaizen. I'm not going to argue about the philosophy you have to endorse here, but the idea of continual improvement, the idea of that every week you're whittling away a different iteration. You're making it a little bit better, 1% better a week for 50 weeks, 2% better a week for 50 weeks, as opposed to an event. How has the weekly, that methodology of having a weekly meeting where our team leaves with homework and you leave with homework, how has that methodology impacted your business?
Well, of course, it helps us as we're trying to grow, but it also has helped us design meetings that we have with our clients and our trade partners. We start handling them the same way when we come in with a regular agenda. We talk about the same things. We know what we're going to do in advance. We know how to measure it. And so it helps us on a daily basis in our work. And then it helps us grow when we come meet with Clay, because we know we have to do our homework and show up and be able to answer the questions and study and analyze the answers.
Now, Stairs, I'm going to turn it over to you because you guys work together weekly. I just wanted to kind of hit those questions that I get asked a lot from potential clients.
Sure. Yeah. Well, Brian, hey, I first of all want to congratulate you guys on your big win just this last week, winning the Tulsa Parade of Homes. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. We were very proud of that. It's always fun to win.
Yeah, you guys actually won another award there too, right? Wasn't it the...
Yes, we also won the best interior design. So when the judges come through, they're judging the overall house and that impact, but they also look at the interior design, and we won on that award as well.
Fantastic. Judging you. It doesn't sound like a safe environment when those judges come in. So
no, it's not a safe environment, but you have to put yourself out there sometimes so you can win.
Yeah.
And that's not, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but that's not the only Parade of Homes award you've received over the years. How many are you up to now from the parade?
Oh, gosh, I'm not sure. We've been in the Parade of Homes for over 30 years, and we've been able to do that consistently. So several years and multiple years we've won in different categories and in different places, but we've done it in the last 10 years. We've probably won 8 or 10 times.
Fantastic.
That's hot sauce.
Yeah. And Brian, I'd like for you to talk a little bit as well. You're a family business, literally family business. You have your son and your son-in-law and your daughter-in-law working with you as well. How have we been able to help you navigate that minefield with working with your family?
I think it's the having systems. When you're working with family, you have close relationships, trying to call out people to accountability is a little kind of a sticky wicket. But if you have a system, you can just ask a question. Do we have a system for that? Did you follow the system for that? And then that can lead you into the right conversations, and you don't have to be challenging each other personally. You're challenging the system. Are we working the system? Is it working for us? And that makes it a lot easier on a daily basis. And we have that conversation all the time about, do we have a system for that? Let's write a system for that. Let's follow the system for that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's one of the things that at the Leadership Initiative, Clay, I know you begin to see this as well. When our clients begin to talk through the lens of systems, and begin to ask that question, do we have a system for that? That's when you know that you're actually beginning to think like a manager.
Your love language.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting away from just the emotional, oh no, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
and beginning to think systematically. So that has been one thing that I've really enjoyed about working with you and your team, and how you guys are consistently each week putting more and more systems together.
Now, Brian, I want to interject this, and then we'll go to Sean here. What I find is that successful business owners, they like to bore down on the details, and people that are not successful tend to struggle with boredom, and they want to move on to a new thing. And so the natural current, again, according to Inc. magazine, 96% of businesses fail. So as a coach, our job is to coach you down a proven path. And so there's a lot of repetitive things we have to go over every week. You know, we need to gather Google reviews from your happy customers. We need to gather video reviews from your happy customers. And those Google reviews and video reviews are what we would call online reputation. And so when a potential buyer then thinks about working with you, they can find your reputation easily. Yeah. And so whereas before, you know, you may have had to tell the customer, hey, I've built this many houses and here are some phone numbers, but now those testimonials are unearthed and the real people are here on display, on camera, on video, and you're building multi-million-dollar homes. Can you talk about how the video reviews and the Google reviews that we go over every week have impacted your sales process?
Oh, tremendously. When we have people come in, when we used to have people come into our office to hear about our process and how we build homes, they didn't know us. They didn't know what we were going to do. They didn't know what to expect. Now when they come in, they've already seen it. They've already heard a video from me. They've already seen our clients telling them about us. So it's a lot easier to be able to then get back down to the brass tacks of what it's going to be like to build their house. They're already believing in us. And that value of them believing in us in advance is just immeasurable.
So you are, and again, this is just something I want to get your thoughts, because I work with so many home builders all over the country. And Aaron Antis once said this, and he runs a company called Shaw Homes, which, by the way, we don't work with two people that do the same thing in each city. Right. And I reached out to Aaron when you guys were talking about working with each other. And I asked Aaron, is it okay if we work with another home builder in Tulsa? And Aaron goes, oh, absolutely. Brian has a stellar reputation and he doesn't do what we do. He builds custom houses. And that's who you got. We do. You know, Shaw is more of you buy in a neighborhood where you guys customize. Well, anyway, Aaron told me, he said, Clay, when we used to have people that would reach out to us, they used to have a lot of questions and were very unsure of working with us. And he said, now that we have all these video reviews and Google reviews you've helped us gather over the past 6 or 7 years, people are pretty much going in from like, I don't know, if we're comparing you to 5 or 6 other builders to, we've pretty much already made the decision before we've even reached out. Are you hearing that at all? Or is that just unique to maybe Shaw?
We broke ground this morning on a new project, about a $4 million house. And when the people walked in, they said, we saw you online and we knew you were the guy. We just felt that was what we needed to do. So when we came here, we wanted to work with you. And they found us by reaching out and seeing us online. We had never met them before. And when they walked in the door, they said, let's go. And that's amazing to me. I didn't believe you guys when you told me that would happen. I thought that couldn't happen.
Nobody does. Now, and then final question, I have to go to Sean here. I have a lot of builders, and I'm going to send this to them today.
Yes, I've got builders and just other clients that they bought Clay on this one area of getting Google reviews and getting video testimonials. Oh, I just don't have time, Clay. I don't know. That's weird.
And every one of my clients that gets Google reviews, I mean, they win. The pizza business I work with in Florida, Papagallo's. So many people are driving 30 miles to get pizza because it's the highest rated pizza place in Florida.
It works.
So what would you say to somebody out there who's a little bit resistant? Maybe they're kind of reminding you, maybe your first meeting with Clay Stairs, and there's a little, you're trying to figure it out. What would you say to anybody that's a little resistant to getting objective video reviews and Google reviews from actual clients?
I think it's invaluable. We're spending quite a bit of time doing that. And it's amazing to me that when you ask people, they will actually do it. I was very resistant to that. But when you start asking them and you start asking them, what do you think about our product? How do you like our home? What do you like about Brian D. Wiggs Homes? They will tell you. And it's like, that's amazing that they will tell other people. You're just standing there listening to it. Sometimes it's embarrassing that they say such good things. But it's like, wow, let's get that out there.
Now, Sean, you work with a lot of wonderful clients. You also assist working with Brian Wiggs. What question would you have for Brian?
Well, Brian, do you recall the first group interview at Brian D. Wiggs Homes that we did?
I do. Those were some amazing and crazy interviews.
So the group interview is something that I'm always astounded that people haven't heard of it. I've got the curse of knowledge now. It's just such a useful tool. But I think there were about 30 people there. We couldn't even fit them inside your little office. We had to do it on the front porch on your Main Street office in Jigs. Out of that effort of like having to grow your team, maybe a little bit beyond your family there and having to look outside of that, how has that process worked out, and how did the group interview kind of come into play for that?
The group interview was great. It was awkward. I had to change my mindset, like I mentioned earlier, because you're working through a great number of people. I didn't think as many people would show up as they did, but we did the way you told us to do it. And so then we really did have 30 people. We couldn't get them in our building, and we went outside, and I stood out basically in the street on Main Street and yelled at 30 people and asked them questions. But ultimately, we hired a new woman that has just been fantastic. She fits us perfectly. She's almost like family. So how'd that happen? I don't know, but a group interview certainly led us to it. That's where she came from.
I love it.
Now, you, one thing that you and Clay Stairs have, and I'm not just saying this because you're both here. This is a real thing.
You say that to all the people.
No, there are times you see me sometimes get into altercations with people. You've seen it.
Clay, I have seen it. Yes.
I don't avoid combat, or conflict. So, no, seriously,
not combat.
Well, it is sometimes both. It's combative, but you speak highly of Brian Wiggs when he's not here.
Yeah,
and you always praise the quality of his work.
Yeah,
and without reservation, you praise him. But if people can't find him, what we feel about him doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's really good, Clay.
So I'm having a lot of people that I'm running into now that are reaching out to me, and they go, "Hey, I saw your wife as a testimonial on," this has happened multiple times. "Hey, I've seen your wife testimonial on Brian D. Wiggs website. Do you really like him?" And I go, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Well, okay." And I'm getting a lot of that. How rewarding is that for you, Brian, now that you're finally, after years of building homes, you're finally starting to have new people that you did not know previously finding you online? What's that been like for you, sir?
Yeah.
Well, it's been really good because we've taken a lot of pride in the product that we produce. We think we built the great houses. I've been doing this for 35 years. I'm very proud of it. But when people can't find me, that they don't even know me, then they go build with somebody else, and I see the house going up. I'm thinking, why didn't you come to me? I'm the one that builds the great houses.
Yeah.
But they didn't know me. So that being able to get it online and find me has just been amazing for us. It's like they can finally get out and we can put our product out to a lot more people.
Yeah. Yeah. Brian, you and I, going back to the mindset, you and I have spent quite a bit of time, even outside of our weekly meeting, talking about this journey that you've been on in just changing your mindset. Huge visionary, big visionary, loving the big vision, and struggling with the minutia and the details and everything. But if somebody else were in this same spot, if we had other clients that were really getting stuck in that emotional phase and getting stuck with that mindset, what would be some of the things that you did to help press through and change the way you think, to allow you to be able to take these steps that you've taken at Brian D. Wiggs Homes?
Well, we do deal with the emotional dragon a lot here, and each of us have had to deal with that. And we've even started sharing that with our clients. Go, hey, the emotional dragon is going to pop up here. Be ready for it. It's going to hit you. It's going to hit us. And so we know how to work through it. But the way we work through it is when we create these processes. Yeah. And we write them down. Okay, what is it that I do on a daily basis? Where do I run into that emotional dragon? And then I work out ways that I can be prepared and go, okay, what's my system? And we'll work through that. So it's back to the process, back to the system is what helps us overcome that emotional dragon.
Yeah, I've been very proud of you and your sons, as you guys have been able to work more and more and follow, not just put them together, but follow your systems in your company. So.
Now, I want to go to Sean next year. I've got one more question for you. Being present is a present. And a lot of people are not present, but they are physically present. Let me try again. So there's a lot of people who, and thankfully I've got a wonderful roster of clients that mentally participate in what we're doing, so I don't have these problems. But there are people that, they want to do their weekly coaching call while eating a salad, while on the road.
Yeah.
And I what I do is that's why I only take on 160 clients. That's why we have a limited number of clients that Clay Stairs takes on, because if someone's coachable, it's very easy to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have somebody who's clearly eating a salad, clearly at lunch, clearly mentally at lunch, and physically at lunch while trying to do your weekly call, because most of our clients are not in Tulsa, it makes it almost impossible. And I love the idea that you mentally participate. Can you maybe talk as a coaching client, what kind of is on the receiving end of the coaching, how much time do you have to block out for that weekly meeting? And what does that look like?
Well, we meet with Clay for an hour once a week. Sometimes we'll meet with him in his office. Sometimes we'll catch each other on the road. But when we do, we stop and we're 100% present for that period of time. And just being, I don't know I could do it unless I was 100% present. Many times Clay's sharing ideas with me. I'm like, okay, wait a second. So what you're saying is, and I can repeat it back and then finally work through it. But it takes that, I got to be paying attention to it. I'm a slow learner. So I got to work through it piece at a time.
Sean, any final question you would have for Brian D. Wiggs? Again, that website, folks, I'll make sure I put it on the show notes. That's briandwiggs.com. He could be a male model, but he's not. It's briandwiggs.com.
It's a good-looking man.
He's a real person, real business,
Yes.
briandwiggs.com. He's not a hired actor. Sean, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, more than a question, I just wanted to bring up at the beginning how you and Clay Stairs met. You guys met at the chamber.
Right. And I remember our first meeting down at Utica Square, sitting at lunch together. I remember that forever ago.
That's
Now,
right.
the way it works with Clay Stairs and I, it all starts with that initial phone call. It starts with scheduling a consultation and just scheduling a free assessment to see if someone's a good fit. What would you say to anybody out there considering working with Clay Stairs and Sean and the coaches and working with them? What would you say?
I'd say give it some time to come in and hear what they have to say and really listen. Like you just said, be 100% present, even in those first moments. Because I remember asking Clay, I said, okay, if what you say is true, I'll do this. And he goes, trust me, if you'll do what I say, it will work. And that was the truth.
Yeah.
Now, you have 3 monitors and a circular table. I'm not sure what percentage of your success is attributed to that.
And he's got his name. He's got his name on his table.
Do the listeners have to have a custom table to be successful, Brian?
You don't have to do that, but it helps.
Okay, nice. Brian,
you can get there faster. You can get there faster if you do that.
And folks, we live in the house that Brian built, and the way I did that, and Brian can attest to this, I'm sure. I told my wife, you design it how you want so that you're happy with the house that you built. I get the pool, though.
There you go.
And
can we talk about the pool?
The pool's an incredible thing.
We got to go to the pool.
And my wife, though, she really, really loves it. And there's not a day that goes by that she doesn't compliment it or give someone a tour. She's always proud. And we've built multiple houses, but this is the favorite home that we've lived in. So thank you on behalf of my wife and our family. I appreciate you very much, Brian. And again, folks, if you're looking to build a home and you happen to be in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, that's briandwiggs.com. Thank you, Brian, for joining us. We really do appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, Brian.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy it.
Take care, brother.
See you.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy's just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Crockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk, kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like him most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. As you can see, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or two with us to make sure that you actually like it, make sure training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to 25, 35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income, but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top Canine through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top Canine is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.